Alright, all you wonderful people of the internet, hello and welcome to SunnyRedemption Sailing, your bi-weekly voyage for BS3 gaming news, as I go back to where it all began with Sea of Thieves. And load in and wait for Kevin to come on, but man, I have been playing some amazing demos from the Game Awards. It's a shame there's only a handful of them compared to the dozen plus that were there before, but I really like Pragmata, first of all. Then that runs so well on this $500 PC, which is amazing to me. And then Audio Mech, which basically is a music visualizer run and gun game, I think, where you face off against waves of enemies using your music and can change to different weapons based on what the needs are. So let me just get the high seas going and then have supplies and such. Alright, yep. So Kevin confirmed he'll be on in 2 minutes, which means I'm just gonna get everything set up. Anyway, I'm heading to New York tomorrow to get much needed R&R from making content. So I will be back with Kevin in 2 weeks, just playing video games on his various consoles locally, and chatting and chilling. So if you'd like to see that before New Year's, then please leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell. Anything helps with the stream. There we go. Okay, let's absolutely go then. The latency from this remote play right to my PC from my console is actually pretty good. I thought that I would have to hook it up into the back, but then why is it so zoomed in? That's the only thing I can imagine. That's okay. Not the biggest deal in the world to have a slightly zoomed in character. Anyway. I mean, I could just get the supply shop, and that's probably what I'll do. But, you know, there's something to the old days of scavenging in barrels. This game's really kind of softened for me. It's a very cool hangout sort of game, which is perfect for this podcast. But, yeah, let me see. Okay. I think I need to minimize this a moment, and then do it, because I don't think my keyboard that I have has a Windows key. So, let me see. Why do I always get that wrong with the Xbox? That's an update from Monday. Never mind. Okay. This is the workaround. I think I may have to temporarily quit out and then invite him, and then go back to it, but, hang on. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna disconnect for now, and then get things going. Let's see. It still says that he's offline. I don't understand, but whatever. Okay. Yes. Definitely. Definitely need an Xbox to access my microphone. I had to reset my PC after it blue screened of death. So, can you hear me okay? Hello?
Hey.
Okay. For some reason it doesn't show your name with the thing moving, but that's okay. Let's just... I'm gonna reconnect to my console, and then invite you to the game. Or you can join me.
Okay. Yeah, I should be able to just join. I'm loading in right now.
All right. I mean, all I really did was just resupply, and for some reason, it zooms in on your character a lot. Like the field of view is terrible, with remote play. I don't know what's going on. Um, Video settings.
Yeah,
Uh,
maybe it doesn't save your field of view settings or something. I don't know.
I have no idea how I would change that anyway, and most of the time we're probably just going to be talking about gaming news. So I think it's going to be fine.
Yeah,
And
it's somewhere in the settings, I'm sure.
yeah, like there has to be something. Gameplay, maybe? Auto center delay, no. Um, let's see. All right, thank you for joining my crew. For our 45th episode of SunnyRedemption Sailing, where we break down the gaming awards. The Game Awards. Sorry, I'm a little tired. I've been packing all day for tomorrow when I head back home to New York.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I've just resupplied the ship, and we'll put a quick fishing voyage down.
Sure.
So, while I collect
And
my
then
thoughts, what did you think of the show?
I thought it was pretty good. Like, I don't know, I've never had like a super strong opinion on them because at the end of the day, it's it's a vessel for trailers with some fun awards given out at the same time. It's not like it would be tough for me to call anything unless they announce literally all the games I would ever want. Then I'd call it a great show. Otherwise, it's just like I've seen so many of them. I've been watching, you know, the lineage of these since 2003, I believe. Like I've pretty much watched every year, so
Well,
kind of like
yeah, that's definitely a longer perspective for sure. I think I caught a glimpse of it when it was on Spike TV, and it just
yeah.
felt too dude bro-y at the time for me. But then I decided to, actually watch the show when it was live and give it a fair shake. Other people commentated on it. I didn't know how to do that without like having processing issues. So, the actual awards were pretty great. I mean, I feel like that we just have to get into this controversy though, because well, I guess since it won't really upset you because you're not very easily rattled, but like the accusations of favoritism towards Clear Obscure Expedition 33, I don't think they're true
Yeah,
from the part of the team.
I just never get the complaints about like, oh, there's a bias towards a certain game. It's like, well, they're voted on by the
Journalists.
industry.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
it's not some conglomerate getting together in a boardroom. It's literal like submissions from different voices in the industry. And they all thought that was the winner. It's not. There's no grand cabal conspiring to make Expedition 33 the winner. It's just that's what people thought was the strongest game out of those selections. So
and at least unlike the Oscars, they actually have to play the game to at least some degree.
Exactly.
Because normally there's reviewers who do their job. I don't even know how you can actually vote on an Oscars movie without having finished the fucking movie, but that's just how it is. I could believe that. No, keep going.
There's like if I was maybe for some people they don't get to every game or they don't get deep into every game that's nominated, but it's like I think at least from my perspective, if I was someone who was nominating the games, I would at least try to play every game in whatever category, like at least a little bit to get a feel.
Yeah, at least a little bit. Speaking of which, I finally got to Eskia. They're delightful. Yeah. And I got it running very well at 1080p low on my PC. So that's fantastic. Haven't really tested out the combat with that yet, because because I haven't touched this game since August. Not because it didn't grab me at first, but just because I always felt I would go back to it later, and then I never did because there were other games that came out. Just was a timing thing for me, and now I get to experience Game of the Year. according to them. I think that it deserved its nominations. I just think that there were definitely some games that were robbed. Like, Sonic Racing Crossworlds is so much better than Mario Kart World in so many respects, but it feels like they needed to give Nintendo the win on a couple of occasions, so people wouldn't get mad at them.
I think that's just a case of more people played Mario Kart World because it was the Switch 2 launch game. I think that's what that one comes down to more than anything. That
could be the case. The only thing is that Sonic is the superior game, and I hope that people find that out with the new 36% off discount that they have for the holidays. I would be tempted, except that I'm not quite sure how that works. Like, if you get rid of the cartridge and then buy the underlying game, I'm guessing the upgrades on top of that and everything. But yeah, I don't really know. Still, I am glad that let me just look up the actual awards so I don't get completely confused. Hang on. Or misremember something. Awards 2025. Sure. Okay, so winners and nominees. Let's see. For best family game, I think let's see. I mean, yeah, Donkey Kong Bonanza definitely deserved best family game, but I feel like it depends on what your definition of family game is. Is it a game you play with the whole family, or is it just a family-friendly game? Because it feels like it's a family-friendly game for the most part.
Yeah, that's a very nebulous category, and it's like, I don't know, why not call it, like, I guess kids game might be a bit too narrow.
Like, Lego Party was fantastic for kids. And as I mentioned at the time when I got back from Africa, Donkey Kong Bonanza is not exactly the most intuitive for kids a lot of the time, actually. So, you know, it is a very nebulous category that was probably given so that they could have the Donkey Kong Bonanza music. Like, there's just little moments that stuck at my craw with this show. Like the zoom in on Flute Guy during the chorus. I get it. People like Flute Guy. But it feels like they took this organic moment and now it's just another show element. You know?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Like, I don't think he was like overwhelming.
No, this is not a knock against Flute Guy either. I will get to my main criticisms of Jeff Keighley. But there's another mermaid statue with a green emerald. If you want to help me with that.
I'll get there when I can.
Sure thing.
Probably just
finding
soloed,
off some.
Honestly.
Yeah, that's true. I just thought you were still nearby for some reason. Well, in any event, so yeah, there's that. There's the fact that Al Pacino got invited. Like, there's so many Hollywood royalty people there to try and attract the normies, yet the team that created the game of the year had to pay $300 each for more than 2 tickets to have the main folks up on stage. That just feels greedy for some reason. Maybe it's because a lot of these indie studios can barely afford to send more than the 2 free tickets that are given to studios under consideration. It's like, why not just like do 4 tickets and maybe have Al Pacino come another time? I don't know. And this is from an article
about... Al Pacino actually there this year? I didn't.
Apparently.
Oh, okay.
This is from an article from Kotaku about it, about how and I mean it makes some degree of sense because the cost is now $1 million for a 3-minute trailer. That's approaching Super Bowl level territory when it comes to commercials. It's a, you know, for lack of a better term.
Prime real estate. They've got
it really is
viewership for that.
They are.
So, like, if you even just counting like viewership of the main feed and then all the people restreaming it or commentating over it, like that's.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people.
Yeah, and again, I wanted to, just for technical limitations and neurodivergence, it didn't work. But maybe next time. Anyway, the main problems I had were twofold. One, the Muppets. Look, I love the Muppets. I have loved the Muppets since I was a kid. I typically prefer them in fantasy settings as an adult. You know, like the old stuff doesn't really get me. But like, okay, so the show elements that were actually on stage were interesting enough, but they could have been better. Like, what if instead of just a CGI person of the Lord of Hate for the Diablo 4 expansion announcement, they had Kermit fighting a giant creature version, creature shop version of
I think
of that guy.
The only thing against that is I feel like Disney, even they'll let the Muppets hang around with Keeley or whatever. I don't know if they'll let them mingle with the other IPs.
Probably to get him to stop sending love letters to Miss Piggy. Slightly kidding.
Yeah.
Because it's clear that he had a childhood crush on her, and now he gets to summon her to his show whenever he wants. He also seemed very clipped at times when it came to some of the games, so it's like, yeah, great game, moving on. I guess if you've done this for,
I mean,
you have to respect pacing and stuff. I don't think he meant it, but it just, this show, in its whole, feels overproduced to me. Like, there's a lot that could be cut to make something more interesting, but the actual awards were, again, for the most part, pretty interesting. Except, my other robbed game was 2pointmuseum! Like, come on! Let me see. The winner for...
I think that was Evil Deeds Chronicles. That won that category.
I mean, okay, I'm sure you're gonna tell me it's really good, but a remake of an old game...
the re-release, at least.
No? Huh. Well, okay then.
I mean, I played the original, but I can't speak to the quality of the re-release.
But seriously, why are re-releases being considered for these categories?
I mean, to be fair, it did have a lot of like new shine and polish to it. Like, I know they added voice acting, they totally redid the scripts.
Yeah, I mean,
like merged a lot of the stuff from
this
the
isn't
two
taking
games together.
away anything from Final Fantasy Tactics, but it's just like, come on. Because 2pointmuseum is the best game that has ever been put out by 2 Point Studios, and it just feels ridiculous that now that they're finally on the Game Awards stage, they get robbed. To me, anyway. Yeah. A lot of people have these passionate defenses that are very personal of games. Ultimately, the debate doesn't really matter so much as, again, some of these more icky things for me, because you know me, I'm very anti-corporate right now. Definitely going through a Marxist phase, at least. Or at least a light Marxist phase. It's just like, well, you know, the announcements were good. You know, that was fantastic. My mind was blown by Ace Combat 8.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I sucked at Ace Combat 7 because there was this one particular mission that, like, had a time limit, and I just kept failing, and I didn't know why. But I'm looking forward to a proper current-gen version of Ace Combat. A proper dogfighting game. Really. And as I mentioned before, Pragmata finally getting a demo, it was really neat. I mean, before I was thinking it was that this was like a, basically an aping of The Last of Us, but the pipe dream like hacking sequence that you do as you're shooting, it's a little bit to juggle at first, but then once you know that you're just using the face buttons that you're probably not using anyway to hack, to move your pipe along the squares, if that makes any sense. So then as a result, you then get a really satisfying hacking minigame. Probably the best one since BioShock 2 for me, personally. I am not looking forward, by the way, to listening to the video about there's this video that that I was watching in tiny bits and pieces about the 12-year development cycle, and I'm like, I know the broad outlines of the story, but it's still painful for BioShock 4. God. Anyway, back to the Game Awards. So, were there any announcements that took you particularly by surprise?
Let me try to think. I mean, the Mega Man thing, because I know Capcom had been recently talking loosely about, like, hey, we want to really bring Mega Man back in a big way.
But didn't they already do that with Mega Man 11? It seemed like they were building it up as this 20-year turn.
They just kind of they have hot and cold periods with Mega Man in the past 20 years where they put out 11. Well, first of all, they put out Mega Man 9 a couple decades ago, and 10 very quickly, one after another. Did nothing for a while. They had Mega Man Legends 3. They canceled that. They've done nothing with Mega Man X since the mid-2000s, and that's just been sitting dormant. So a lot of people, I think, were expecting them to do something with either Mega Man X or Mega Man Battle Network, because those collections both sold pretty well.
Okay.
So I think people were not expecting it to just be essentially Mega Man 12. So it'll be interesting to see what. It's
interesting that they dropped the numbering sequence.
Yeah, I think that's just like, hey, what purpose does this actually serve at this point? People who are big fans are going to know this is Mega Man 12, and everyone else will see it as a new Mega Man game without the baggage of the number.
Or just jumping into the series for the first time.
Yeah.
Because there is this phenomenon where people feel less drawn to sequels, where it's like, oh, well, I have to play the first game to understand it. I did play, for instance, the Solasta 2 demo, and I think they either caught me up quickly with the beginning of the game story or the first game story. I'm not sure which, because the demo could have plopped me anywhere. But it's... I mean, so far, in terms of exploration and dialogue, it feels like Baldur's Gate 3 in a very good way. Like, it's intriguing that this party is coming upon a dragon that normally just, like, eats crabs and clams and doesn't bother people, but is acting strangely now. So, that's intriguing. And the party seems like they could be as well. I mean, I'm literally meeting them in medias res, so we shall see. But I've definitely got my eye on this game, especially on Steam. Because like you can also have a click to control option or just WASD. So it's probably paying homage to a lot of CRPGs in that way. Let's see. Oh, I know. The Future Class Initiative was completely dropped, which is probably a lot of the reason why there were less demos this time around. Like, drastically less demos. I don't think they even had demos for Xbox, which that used to be really great. But yeah, this is according to The Guardian from about a month ago. Inductees were this is quoting from them, where inductees were invited to attend the illustrious December ceremony and promised networking opportunities and career advancement advice. However, the program reportedly struggled from the start. Support waned, and now it appears that this has been wholly abandoned. This is the second year in a row that Future Class has not announced a new cohort. There are usually 50 inductees across various games industry disciplines, including writing, development, journalism, and community management. They are not planning for a Future Class for 2025 and do not have any active programming plans for Future Class, according to Emily Weir. Now, this isn't necessarily something that, like, I don't understand from a cold business logic perspective, because it is a lot of logistics for not a lot of reward. But it did increase the amount of demos, at least I think so, potentially. And, you know, what was all that stuff about growing the game industry for the Girls Who Code initiative? And then, whatever her name was, up on the stage with them being like, this award is
Felicia
thick.
Day.
Felicia Day saying this award is thick. She hasn't been funny for 20 years. Stop. Like, stop. You know, stop trying to make jokes. I'm sorry, you're out of touch. But I do still love her from the old days of, what was the name of the show again?
The Guild.
The Guild. Thank you. I'm a little bit weighed down too because this stream is dedicated to robreiner.
Yeah, I saw that as I was getting out of work last night. I was like, oh Jesus.
Yeah, well,
That's really unfortunate.
Before the show, I watched half of The Princess Bride with commentary by him, and I would have finished it, but I kept pausing because I was so fascinated by all the different anecdotes on the Blu-ray commentary by him. For one thing, he did all the noises for the ROUS.
Yep.
Well, that destroyed his throat, apparently. Carrie Ills had to go to the hospital after the sword bonk from Humperdinck. That's Humperdinck's actor. They met Carrie Ills in Germany when people were concerned about Chernobyl radiation, and he said it was worth it, which got a belly laugh out of me. This guy is humble, down to earth, and really. My favorite fact actually is that they used a real castle for the. I mean, I suspected that it was a real castle for the courtyard scenes. You know, the boo. Yeah. But it was nice to hear that it was an abandoned castle from 1086 that has been used as filming locations before, Haddon Hall. It was apparently given by William the Conqueror to one of his bastard sons. So he was just like, I can't even imagine what happened here 1,000 years, almost 1,000 years ago, and then centuries later, it's being used as a movie shoot location. How wild is that? Wait. Oh, this is a friendly one. That took me way too long to figure out.
Yeah, I just dug that guy up. You dig those guys up, and they're your allies. I'm not sure if they travel with
I did not
you at all,
know.
like on the ship.
That would be cool to see.
We'll find out.
Captain Mamie Sterling. And speaking of Melee, I have also played a little bit of Ninja Gaiden 4, as I told you earlier.
Yeah.
I've managed to get like halfway through Wave 2, so I think 30% is doable.
That's something. Yeah.
Like I noticed that the grapple points are there, and that helps a bit.
Yeah, those help, especially when you get more aerial attacks, because you do unlock some better like.
Oh yeah,
later.
That's probably why they have the trainer guy there to buy the moves. If you want. I just buy the medium health with the 5 that at least it obviously doesn't change the gold that you bring going in, so you can just do that over and over again. That's nice.
Yep.
I will say the removal of the auto block has made me a better Ninja Gaiden player, like in similar ways as you said 2 shows ago. But
because there is a rhythm to it. That's the thing. Is like, I never begrudge anyone for using any assistance modes or whatever, but like I do think there is a rhythm that you can get to if you.
But that rhythm is chaotic right now. It's very hard to get because, there's 5 enemies attacking you, and some of them are. Basically, I'm just spamming RT a lot to dodge and block, which I didn't realize that was both. But I guess it makes sense if you want to have a little bit more nimble of a choice for people. That was just me blowing up the exploding barrel, and it doesn't appear to have damaged the ship at all, right? Yeah, no.
Nope, I just checked.
Just got another ammo pouch, so we're all good. And it seems that the skeleton does not follow us on the ship, so sorry, Captain Mamie Sterling. You're gonna have to chill out here for all eternity. I mean, you'll just be standing in the water waiting for us. Actually, a lot of today I spent reading this amazing webcomic called Ancient Animals. It's about a T-Rex who gets trapped on an island for 20 years until a baby T-Rex washes ashore. A lot of the beats are very predictable, but they're very fun. Especially with the little bits about dinosaur biology and the Deccan traps and such. Yeah, so I'll send you the link for you to read that at your leisure later.
Sure.
And I think it's actually a series with multiple different things, because I expected a bit more of their adventures after Chapter 19, but I think it makes sense that the story wrapped up where it did, and now I'm seeing like ancient direwolves, I think, in prehistoric North America, probably. Anyhow, oh, another sad death was Jim Ward, voice of Captain Quark.
Yeah, I saw that, and the guy, same day, the guy who voiced Sheen on Jimmy Neutron. I don't know if you saw that
What?
one. Yeah, he was super
No,
young. He was
Ark.
like 40 something, I think.
Oh yeah, that is young. Gosh,
Yeah,
I'm not that far away from it.
and it's a bummer. Like, but he did at least voice Sheen in that Nicktoons game that came out just this year. So.
Oh, the
Dice of Destiny.
the Dice of Destiny.
Yep.
It's a good action RPG for little kids that I probably will get as like Tado's first, at some point when it's on sale. But it probably is a bit too complicated for him and way too simple for me. Even with the more challenging modes, it's a little bit easy. And it makes sense why, but also it's Game Mill, and they're putting in the bare minimum of effort when it comes to, like, level design. It basically is just a lot, at least so far with the SpongeBob maps, not very interesting. Like, no inspiration from the Medieval Times episode of SpongeBob from 2007. That's one of my favorites. No. That was probably the last time that I can remember my sister and I being really excited for SpongeBob. I think I also wanted to enjoy The Best Day Ever, but then was let down by it, because they were really having it with that marathon. But anyway, let's see. Well, where are we going exactly?
I'm just getting us to the fishing spot. I put down
right.
a fishing voyage this time.
Oh. Okay, yeah. And then I just blindly voted for it. Like I said, I'm really tired. But,
Server change.
well, during... Oh, there it is. Nice. Well, would you ever want to play Black Ops 7 for the new challenges that apparently came out recently? In zombies, it's like.
Sure. I'm down to try more of that game. I played a few multiplayer matches. I played some more of the Black Ops 6 campaign in the past couple weeks, and maybe eventually I'll play the Black Ops 7 campaign, but I'm not in any huge hurry.
Well, the thing with that is apparently it has been called an event for the unemployed. Because of how grindy it is to get certain camos at the end of this. So if we were to play zombies from Black Ops 7, and again, I'd be interested to try it on our off week on cloud gaming, because I did say I wouldn't play it, but I kind of miss that Call of Duty feeling of just hopping in and turning off your brain and playing some video games. And I'd be interested to see how that plays in cloud, as I mentioned. But the series has a strong identity for me. It sucks about the AI, but I already have Game Pass, so it's not like I'd be giving it any more money. That's the problem with the log rolling of Game Pass, is that, well, you have the buffet, and you can technically ignore the carbs and just enjoy the good stuff. So that's what I plan to do, because I actually played quite a bit of lostrecordsbloomandrage.
Oh, nice.
Recently.
Yeah, I hopefully you're not far. You could be farther than me, because I have not finished that game. I've enjoyed what I played, but I'm still like maybe at the halfway point. I'm not quite sure.
I am definitely not at the halfway point. I think I've
Okay.
played a total of 45 minutes according to Xbox.
Yeah, it's surprisingly long if you want to actually try to like get all the photos and stuff and like scour
I've
the
tried for
areas.
most of them, but I'm not someone who typically goes for 100%ing collectibles.
Yeah.
Even
I
when that
do like
option was there in Life is Strange, it
yeah.
didn't really appeal to just go around the empty school doing looking for birds or whatever. So I just noped out.
I do enjoy the way they do the collectibles in this in
Yes, because
Lost
it's
Records
naturally
because
with the gameplay.
yeah,
It
and
fits.
you get to like, you know, it's sort of like a personalized record with how you tape
Right.
all of them.
And can remix, though I only did that the first time, and honestly, it doesn't really matter. Because a lot of the kind of moments that you would expect to find in a home movie, I don't know. It feels like these moments of recording are a little on the short side to actually make a believable memoir with, but that's just the fact
Yeah,
that my
I mean,
dad had
some
a
of them,
camera
like,
everywhere,
with
a
you get
VHS
some
camera
moments
everywhere.
later on. You do get some moments a bit later on, like where you kind of basically get to make like a music video and stuff that are really
Oh,
cool.
right. Yes, that is the plan for the group. Is that I'm just
Okay, so
starting
that's
out
where
at
you're
the.
at. Okay.
I'm just starting out at that part, and I
Okay,
lost the
cool.
fish. Great. For crying out loud.
Yeah, so I think I'm at like the end of the first half of the game, and I haven't picked it up in the past couple months. So I've been very slowly, like I've been playing like an hour or two when I get the time, but
Huh.
it's surprisingly long. Like I'm probably, I don't know, at least 8 or 9 hours into that first part. I'm like, oh damn, this is definitely longer than your typical don't nod game.
Ah. Well, I have just installed it on my PC. I'm pretty sure it's gonna run great, and I'm looking forward to bringing that to New York to continue. Cause I'm pretty sure I could do it on cloud and that it would work that way, but I would prefer cloud as minimally as possible. Uh, I was tempted by doing it with this game, but then I was like, oh yeah, duh, my Xbox is right there. I can just remote play to it right next to each other. And then got rewarded for that with fisheye, but I'll figure that out later. Oh my god, this fish is giant. It's just like right in my face. Anyway.
I'll put down another one if we want to keep rolling with the fishing.
I mean, yeah, I technically am employed, but we'll have a lot of free time on my hands fairly soon because it's the holidays and people are going home, and they want to get rid of us anyway. So, fuck them. Oh, I know what I wanted to ask. After I had problems with something similar with Red Dead on Xbox, the upgrade path. Did
Yeah.
you have any issues with any upgrades for Yakuza? Because I
Yes,
heard people
so
were having about that.
I just was able to buy the Yakuza 0 upgrade today. But I got home from work, I checked again because I hadn't checked in a few days, and it worked now. But the first week or so, yeah, it just did not work. The other two upgrades for Kiwami and Kiwami 2 were fine. Like,
Okay,
Kiwami
well,
2 was free, Kiwami was $2. I was going to mention at some point, like, I've actually been playing a ton of Yakuza Kiwami. Like,
I thought you had beaten that one already, but I guess
oh
it's
yeah, I've beaten it twice over, but I just was like, oh,
But
it's a
then
pretty minimal upgrade. The only real upgrade here is like the cutscenes now run in 60 frames per second as well, and a
Okay.
minimal resolution boost. The only and then so Yakuza 0 has the upgrade with basically a whole new English dub and additional cutscenes, which people have had mixed opinions about.
Right.
And that multiplayer mode they added, which I'm curious to try. And then Kiwami 2 has a pretty big upgrade because
Is that local
entire
multiplayer?
game.
Because I've been curious about
I think it's
Yakuza
just
multiplayer
online.
modes. Oh man, because
there are mini games that are local.
Okay,
That's always
well,
been in Yakuza.
yeah, no, that has been a thing. That could be fun for us to try.
Yeah. So Kiwami 1's a pretty minimal upgrade, but the other two upgrades are pretty decent because Kiwami 2 never got an FPS boost. It was always 30 FPS on consoles. It was the only Yakuza game that was still 30 FPS, and this new version is 60. So I'm excited to get to that one.
Well,
Yeah,
I should have known who I was talking
with,
to when it came to asking about replay.
Yeah, and I would have started with Yakuza 0 replay, except the upgrade just didn't work for a week, so I was like, you know what, screw it, I'll just play Kiwami. And I intended to just play like an hour or so and then be like, whatever, but, you know, those games are so good, so I was like, I've played maybe 8 or so hours of it already.
Did you get around to seeing the TV show on Prime at all?
No, I didn't hear many good things about it, so I just was like, I'm good with the games, that's what I care about.
Yeah, I figured that was about what you would do. I'm excited for Fallout, of course, on Wednesday. Though, that's going to be an action-packed Wednesday with a lot of things coming out at once. Like, we got Survivor that night, so it'll be nice to watch that with my parents. And then, Palm Royale on Apple TV+. I can never understand the fucking plot of that show, but it's such a twisty soap opera, I don't care. Yep. And then Jet Lag the Game on Nebula. It'll be exclusive there for a week, but if you like these kinds of GeoGuessr sorts of things, I think you'll really like this show. And apparently the main cast got on an interview with Variety, so they're making it to the big time, it seems. Also, it seems like there's something here.
Okay, I'll just park by the fishing spot. Right
it's just a rock! It's not...
Well, it is something.
Yeah, it's not a great, big, beautiful boulder that...
we're not geologists, so...
Yeah,
can't really do much with it.
Yeah, well, and it's not a great, big, beautiful rock that took the pioneers for miles, either. So... I gotta play more Titans of the Tide when I'm up, in New York. But first, I have to kick Metroid Prime's ass. Because... for a second, before we go back to the Game Awards and more news, because holy shit, the amount of time between save stations is atrocious. Atrocious. Unacceptable. And here's the thing. Checkpoint should mean goddamn checkpoint. Because here's what happened. I did the Tower 2. I beat, what's his name? I can never remember these names. The bounty hunter that everybody's been hyping up from Metro. Yes, Silex. Thank you.
Yeah.
I wanted to say Silos, but that sounded wrong. But yeah, Silex was such a pain in the asshole because turns out you have to be in morph ball mode to knock out his tornado attack with a morph ball bomb, and you have to follow it up while he's down with another morph ball bomb. But you're frantically like dropping these bombs and hoping that he goes by where you are, and then falls down, and then doesn't get up before you can get back all the way over, because that top-down view with the morph ball is not great. And now, there's like this floating metal ball with all these removable panels that just like obliterates my fucking health. And I thought, okay, you know what, I lost? But there's a checkpoint. I could come back to it later. To my fucking surprise, it undid everything! Everything! Like,
yeah, those save stations are crucial.
Yeah, definitely.
You sound like you found out.
I mean, look, this is my first real attempt at a Metroid Prime game. So perhaps this was just something that, you know, it's like tough. You just have to deal with that. That's part of the charm, I suppose. But checkpoint means checkpoint. You need to give people an idea that if they quit while having reloaded the checkpoint, then that gets erased. You need to give some indication about some of these things. You need to get... Okay, it's really annoying when there's an enemy that's flying in the air and you kill them and their health just stays there, completely out of reach. I'm pretty sure that you're going to get an ability or something later on to fix that, but that shouldn't have to be the case. I'm sorry. What the fuck is the point of a lot of the psychic bomb stuff when it's so situational right now? Why not have the scan mode allow you to grab the health particles from out of the air? That makes more sense to me. Or how about the fact that there was this other boss that kicked my ass like 3 times because I had to have happened to scan him in the middle of the fight, I might add, which is not easy. It's a lot slower than even the research camera from BioShock, which posed a similar problem. Okay. Well, apparently this harpoon doesn't like my coconuts, so I'm just gonna drop it and help you with fishing. But like, God, the only reason I haven't gotten rid of this game is because the only reason I haven't gotten rid of this fucking game is because I wasn't able to make it to the GameStop and decided to get it digitally instead. So now my pre-order is there, liquidated, probably in the form of trade credits, so I have to go back there tomorrow to use that. I think I'm probably going to use that to buy Mafia 4 digitally, in the hopes of being able to play it on the cloud, on my parents' TV, or on PC. That would be neat. But, that game is fantastic, and I want to keep it forever. But the other game I'm trading in for the final time with them, because I think I'm just going to get digital credit for both the Xbox and for the Xbox Store, Steam, and Nintendo eShop, is that Battlefield 6's disc doesn't fucking work for me. At least so what happened was, I had installed the digital version ahead of time, like I've always done, and then I popped it in, expecting to just be able to go right into the full game, and it downloaded it again! Why? I don't fucking get it! And then, it said like, oh, well, if you cancel this, it'll uninstall the entire game, and so I let it go, but then it just, yeah, no matter what I tried, deleting the game and installing it, wouldn't work. Yeah, basically, I was like, this update's gonna take too long. Can I just have some assist from the disk itself? Which is about 37 gigabytes without the update, and then only 20 gigabytes is actually used from the disk. But that got that broke. It didn't work. I don't know why. I'm worried. Is my Xbox's optical drive dying? Is the disc just badly authored? I don't fucking know. But I don't think EA cares, because they clearly don't want you to buy this game this way. They obviously would love to give you the EA Play discount. I mean, I really enjoyed what I played from the open beta, but I think I could just wait a few months until it comes to EA Play. So fuck them. Honestly. And this was after an internet outage I had, where my router went down and turned orange. For no matter how many times I rebooted it, it just was still orange. And well, it turns out that the issue was that I had accidentally swapped the Ethernet cable from the ONS, but it was still neat to play more offline games this way. Like, you know, I'll say it. The main game that I played on my PC after, first, what happened was I was trying to install King Kong, the official game of the movie, while the Game Awards was going on. While I was cooking an amazing shrimp teriyaki for the Game Awards. And then, unfortunately, the computer just wouldn't reboot anymore when the game installer said, please reboot to complete your installation. Maybe it had completed already and was confused or something, but then just nothing would work. No amount of safe mode or low resolution mode or any of that would allow me to get past the blue screen of death. So I thought I would have to get a refund from Amazon and buy it, or a replacement and buy it again, or something like that. Or find a different mini PC, or give up on the idea altogether and just be a console peasant, for lack of a better term. Because I just want things to goddamn work, and things were working for so long. Like where Winds Meet was running beautifully, even if it was forced to be at 4K. Most other games were running great. It just was trying to install old fucking PC games with CD-ROMs that got me for some reason. But I'll try the tougher ones like Legendary later, and that's probably got an online check that doesn't exist anymore, so I probably will have to just download the abandonware version anyway. But still, like, it should be a lot easier to play your old games on Windows, especially with Microsoft being so obsessed with this Xbox PC hybrid thing, which would be really cool, but I have no indication that that will actually work. Because even though I'm fucking forced to be on Windows for game and streaming compatibility, if I had the choice and all of my apps were on Linux, I would go to Linux. Seriously, because I have Office 365 everywhere. Why would I bother a lot of the time if I didn't have to? Yeah. That's the network effect. That's the fucking thing about Microsoft's monopoly. That's why I guess thinking of them as the underdog for so long in the Xbox sort of things was just hopium. And you know, they really did not get a lot from the Game Awards, except for South of Midnight with Game for Impact alongside the announcement of a PS5 version, which was a no-brainer. I was
surprised that one won. I'm definitely not unhappy about it, but I was like, oh, cool, they got something.
Because what were the other nominees? Let me see.
It was Lost Records.
Yeah, I can see that.
That one eating disorder game, I forget the name.
Oh.
And
let me see.
There's one other one I'm forgetting.
Well, let me open up that Wikipedia article again and see it. Bleh. Okay. All right. All right. So, games for Impact. Okay, so Consume Me is the name of the game.
Yeah, that's the anorexic WarioWare, yeah.
Despolote?
Despolote, yeah, that's like about...
I didn't get it, so I refunded it on...
in early 2000s. Okay, so you have played it. Okay.
No, I played a little bit of it, but I just couldn't get that... I couldn't get past that intro minigame about kicking down from... I think it was trying to emulate an old soccer game. But I just could not, my brain just could not. I don't know why. That's a shame because I've heard good things about Despolote, but I did refund it on Steam. And Steam did tell me, you've refunded a lot of things. You might want to cool it a bit. So, but after the show was the announcement of sololevelingarise Overdrive. And it played decently enough. It just was a particle nightmare to follow with my brain. So it's basically like Dynasty Warriors level of difficulty, just with some window dressing that is like, oh, you've lost all your power and now you have to go back to the beginning and start from the beginning of the story. And it's like, I hate when games do that because it's like, well, now I just have the limited tool set. There's been ways that it's been done well, but just not here. So yeah, I refunded it. Not again with this bullshit. Okay, I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I always fish from either like the very, very edge, like I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it usually works for me. Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna go through the awards then, and we can give our thoughts on them. Because the other Microsoft award was for accessibility in design and Doom. Yeah.
Doom. Yeah, that was absolutely warranted. That if it didn't have some of those accessibility options, I would not have beaten the game. I still think it's the worst one of the modern Dooms, honestly. But that's like saying that it's a least favorite brand or flavor of Reese's. Like the fundamentals are still solid, but I just didn't like that particular flavor. I think a lot of it was just how central the shield was to the design. It took me about half the game before I could actually get into a groove with it, and if it had been maybe a third longer than it actually was, I would have enjoyed that, but it just felt like a slog a lot of the time. Still, I'm glad that they won for those things. Though Troybaker was fucking robbed for best performance for Indiana Jones. Because the guy is practically a one-to-one of Harrison Ford and got the man's blessing.
Yeah.
Like, how? Or how
I
about
mean, he was up against some really good performances though, so even if that was my pick, I still think it was not like a massive snub, and Troybaker's gotten enough accolades.
or how about literally any of the voice cast from Dispatch, which also got robbed for best
Yeah,
narrative.
definitely
I mean,
true.
so
I feel like
far,
that one.
so far I like it. I don't know if it'll ultimately be a great narrative in the end, but like
Yeah,
I've been hearing good things.
well, I can tell you, I'm 3/4 of the way through it, and it's still great. It's still just like getting better episode by episode.
Well, that's fantastic. I can't wait to keep playing it. Now that
But
I've
yeah,
sorted out my Steam crap.
I definitely think Dispatch fell victim a little bit to just coming out a little bit late in the year, which didn't used to be too much of a disadvantage because you had recency bias. But I feel like, Claire Obscure already had several performances that people were gonna nominate anyways, and then
Like Gustav and
yeah,
Mael.
I mean that yeah. So I think they had 3 performers in that category.
Yeah, I tend
so...
to play as Mael for a lot of reasons. I think that her performance is absolutely one of them.
Oh, I put down a Voyage, by the way.
Oh yeah, duh.
I should have time
but
for
like,
probably one more.
Even if it wasn't personally my cup of tea, I don't know why Blue Prince wasn't a stronger consideration, or Hollow Knight Silk Sun, or yeah, pretty much any of them. The problem is with such a stacked year, there's gonna be any number of nominees who get overlooked for various reasons. The thing that I'm a little bit fishy about is not anything to do with Sandfall Interactive or Kepler. Okay, people? But I think that a lot of times these award shows are very cynically riding the coattails of just whatever is popular in the culture. So again, I think that they decided the nominees like weeks ago, and then assembled the orchestra, and that probably took a bit of effort. So a lot of this was decided well in advance. It had to have been.
That's why they have the cutoff. They have a cutoff. That's why Indiana Jones was nominated this year rather than last year.
Fair.
Because it came out like early
with the
December, I
Order
believe.
of the Giants.
Yeah.
Well, 2.
Well, no, I mean Indiana
well,
Jones
yeah,
literally
no,
wasn't
right,
in the
properly,
running
yes.
last year.
That's true.
It came out at the tail end of last year.
I wouldn't call that a game of the year even. But at least Troybaker did get a nom.
It was up for consideration this year, rather than last.
But like game of the year and best game direction, I completely get. Even though I would have preferred Split Fiction, just because that moment, that game's pacing was phenomenal. Like probably the best that they've ever done for Hazelight, which is saying something because they just keep getting better with every game. And I'm thrilled about that. And I'm thrilled about Out of Words. That Hazelight is paving the way for a... Well, if we're going to divide co-op games by cheap price and relying on friends to make it a good experience, but technically having solo, that in the friend slap category, for lack of a better term, then the friend art category has to be. Like, this is high art for the video game industry, and the medium is always the message. So the required co-op is the message, and it's done so beautifully here. I do think the narrative is a smidge weaker, but that just comes down to the chemistry with the characters being a little bit off at first. But like I'm sure many other PlayStation people are fuming about Ghost of Yotei, for instance. That's the only game that I've been kind of jealous of. Even though I could, in theory, buy and play Ghost of Tsushima, I'm still trying to stick to my anti-Sony boycott, so it would probably have to be a CD key to not give them money directly. And as I've learned the hard way, CD key sites can be fishy. So, yeah, speaking of fishy, I am currently using a Bluetooth adapter for my controller because the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi cards are still not working well on my computer. I'm hoping that I can either install new drivers tomorrow or get the card replaced. And I've been getting a lot of great tips from some amazing people on the r/mini PCs Reddit. Shout out to all of you for your help. even in my incredibly dumb questions sometimes. But anyway, best debut indie game, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that feels like it kind of has to go to Claire Obscure, just the way it just came out of the gate and
yeah,
took
that's
over
true.
everything.
I mean, it doesn't feel as controversial as the Dave the Diver's nomination for that reason, because it's so popular and because it's a verifiable hit with but you know, they also had like 400 other people, you know, other outside studios contracted to do QA and stuff. At what point do we start defining these categories a little better, is what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, I think for all intents and purposes, I don't think anyone's interested in relitigating that conversation. Like, it's an indie game because it's not by a massive conglomerate, and it's still, the core team of that game is still relatively small, even if they do rely somewhat on contractors and other stuff like pretty much most other games are doing. Like, it's not, you know, it's not like, just because there's a ton of names in the credits doesn't mean everyone's been working full time on that game for
And I'm not,
3 or 4
and again,
years.
this isn't a criticism of the team, it's just like,
yeah.
It's just that, as we've been saying, these categories are kind of nebulous.
Yeah.
Also, apparently, I'm just learning now that Megabonk was withdrawn because it was not his debut game. So
withdrew themselves from that category. That's why there were only 4 nominees for that category.
Right. So basically, they had they had published games under other studio names. So that makes sense why they withdrew. I'm just learning this now, though. And this article comes from PC Gamer, so check that out. Let's see. I'm glad Baldur's Gate 3 won Best Community Support. I still need to get back to that game, but I am very concerned about, like, losing the plot when it comes to, the plot, but also just the gameplay in general, after this long away from it. So maybe we can play it co-op, and I can get back into the rhythm of things.
More of that. I know
we did. Last year, I think. And then we just sort of stuffed your character in a closet for a whole year. So, that could be good. Because I think that's just like, oh, this is the split screen character, so anybody who signs in split screen can use them. And No Man's Sky, totally understandable. I haven't played that game in forever because it seems just dizzying the amount of stuff to do. And a lot of the inventory management is still not great. But I'm happy because Hello Games really did get shellacked there for a while, and it must be very gratifying to win.
Yeah.
Let's see. So we've done Best Performance, Games for Impact. Oh, Best Audio Design goes to Battlefield 6. Totally, yeah. I think that was one of only maybe...
Yeah.
Yeah, only 2 nominations Claire Obscure lost.
Yeah, like that one where, like, Claire Obscure has great audio design too, but Battlefield always has, like, exceptional audio design, so I definitely...
And they really upped their game with that this year.
I've only played a few hours of Red Sec, but it sounded good.
Yeah, I mean, I'd play Red Sec with you at some point, but, so yeah, there's... Best Score in Music. Okay, that's a... I mean, definitely Claire Obscure. That's absolutely...
I forget, was Bonanza in that category? Were they nominated?
No, which is so surprising.
Really? Yeah, that's a little. That's definitely a little surprising.
Because I still
at least nominated them.
I still at least once a day put on Lagoon Layer, or the Bonanza transformations when I work out, or things like that. So, and especially because they played a bit of Heart of Gold during the chorus, I'm very surprised about that. Let's see. I mean, it's a Best Mobile Game. Do you recognize any of these? Like Uma
I think I recognize them all. Yeah, that's the horse racing game that got.
Okay.
Huge. It's been out in Japan for a few years. It just came to the West. So
Anthropomorphized racehorses. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
That's totally a game from Japan.
Yeah, I played
They
a
love
few
to
hours of it.
anthropomorphize everything. I mean, I love it because I remember there was this one show that I watched about anthropomorphized tank girls, with an OVA.
What was yeah, I remember that show from way back in the day. I forget the name.
Let me look it up because it's
Uma
bothering me now.
Uma Musume is like a pretty big phenomenon at this point. Like every anime
Girls
con
und
was
Panzer.
full of it. Girls and Panzer, yeah, that was. Big,
Or
like,
no,
a
wait.
decade ago.
The other one that I watched was Upote.
Okay, I don't know that one, but Girls und Panzer is the one I remember being huge.
Girls
tank.
Girls as anthropomorphized guns, where it's like,
Okay.
oh, don't squeeze my trigger, sensei, or whatever. It's
Yeah.
like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But
No, I mean, Uma Musume honestly is pretty wholesome. It's not like.
you know,
crazy
I thought it
skeevy.
probably would be if it's a widespread mobile game. I doubt that would, you know, last long. Okay, so Destiny Rising, haven't played it at all.
Yeah.
I've heard it's good.
Nothing about it.
Persona 5 The Phantom X.
I did try that. It's not really my thing. It's not really what I want from a Persona game.
Wuthering
sure.
Waves, I've just grabbed from Steam.
Yeah, that's just a Genshin-like, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, well, the one that I am really into would be Infinity Nikki's, so I need to get back to that one, and probably will set Wuthering Waves aside for a bit. Sonic Rumble has been subjected to a lot of controversy for its monetization practices.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm biggest Sonic fan in the world. I loaded up that game, I played it for about 10 minutes, and instantly deleted it.
Wow. Damn. That's a pretty big indictment.
I
I mean, I grabbed it on Steam, but I'm not going to play
I was
it.
all for it. Like, oh, if you want to try a Sonic Fall Guys, that's cool, but the gameplay was...
And
I did the tutorial and one match with real players, and that was...
Yeah, the tutorial was terrible.
Yeah.
I would be very scared to let Tado have this game. Fortunately, you would have to borrow, like, or his mom's phone to do that on Android, and his iPad is way too old for that.
Sell that. We can't sell that, by the way. I'm just gonna leave it.
Okay. It wasn't like a key. I guess if there was, we missed it.
No, you have to. So this season's all about the Devil's Roar. That's one of the new loot items.
Oh, right. Yeah.
To the Devil's Roar.
But I thought that was coming. That was in a couple of days.
Nope, I
May
think
18th?
it started.
Well, I'll look that up later. Okay, best VR AR game, The Midnight Walk. Totally get it. I didn't personally like the game after a while, because there was barely any, like, interactivity at all to speak of. It's a lot of my enjoyment came down to the atmosphere for a while there, and that did not exactly work out on Steam in the flat version, so I haven't experienced it in VR. Maybe it's a little bit better that way, but Marvel's Deadpool VR was probably robbed somewhat, because I've heard that game is fantastic. And if I still had a Quest, no, I don't think it would work. It works on Quest 2. I think it's Quest 3 or 3S. Let me double check, because yes, it's only for MetaQuest 3 and 3S. That completely makes sense. But I'm not dropping $300 on a Zuckbucks headset that harvests my data ever again. Because if I want to play VR chat, I can just load that up on PC in the flat version. There's nothing fucking to do in that game anymore. But you know, I could. I have checked it out that way, and it runs well. So, you know, I don't really know why I would do the VR version. But anyway, best action game is a little surprising to me, because I would have picked Battlefield 6 or Ninja Gaiden 4.
Yeah, what were all the nominees for that one? Because I definitely
So the other
towards Ninja
Hades
Gaiden.
2 won, and then Battlefield
Yeah,
6, Doom, The Dark Ages, Ninja Gaiden 4, and Shinobi Art of Vengeance. You
Yeah, I
know,
mean, out
you
of
already know my
those-
beefs with Doom, but Battlefield feels
Yeah.
very crunchy in a way that I haven't felt since Battlefield 4. So they really got that nailed that Battlefield feeling, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Ninja Gaiden 4 is just the biggest surprise of the year. Like, even when it was announced and that Platinum was making it, I still had plenty of reservations about it. It wasn't until actually, you know, putting a few hours into it that it really, you know, it really sold me on it. And then once it sold me on it, it was just like, I could not put it down. So that would have been my pick, although I shamefully have not played Shinobi yet. I intend to at some point.
played it. I played the demo on my Switch, and it, Switch 2, and it was fine.
I did play the demo. Yeah, I did play through the demo when that came out.
The price tag kind of deterred me a bit. But it's on my wish list on the eShop, I think. So.
Yeah. So there's a chance in that category that Shinobi could have usurped Ninja Gaiden 4 for me, because I am a big Shinobi fan, and I've heard nothing but good things about that game. But for me, out of what I played, Ninja Gaiden was like far and away.
Hades 2 definitely shouldn't have won, in my opinion.
I can't speak on that one because
the Hades formula is kind of stale at this point.
Yeah, I'm a mild. I wouldn't say I'm like a hater on Hades. I just I thought it was a perfectly good roguelike, and I didn't really care for I appreciated all the extra details they put in to make it interesting run to run, like with the dialogue and the story and stuff, and the different permutations on each run. But I don't know. I finished it, saw that the game wanted me to finish it a bunch more times to see the real ending, and kind of just tapped out on the first game.
I haven't even gotten to that first ending.
Yeah.
What was it? All C and I?
Yet.
Like, what was that?
Yeah, I have no idea what treasure that was, but it was in one of the chests we got, so I cashed it in.
Okay. Well, I mean,
and I think
hopefully we haven't doomed the world with that, so maybe we can just chill for 20 minutes and wrap and
or
continue
we could go sell that chest if you wanna go over to Devil's Roar. It's a little bit of a trek.
Okay, you know what? Let's do it. We have a lot to break down, so let's do it.
Yeah, we still got some time.
I am tired, but I'm not so tired that I can't do that.
Yeah, I at least had this afternoon to rest up because I basically worked 32 hours this weekend.
Oh my god. In a row?
Not in a row, no. I did 2 16s in a row.
Okay. Well. So now, okay, I see the problem. So it appears that the default view of the game when you're streaming from a console is that there's black bars on the side. So
oh, I see.
When I opened it in full screen, it then zoomed in. That is an atrocious design choice. I'm sorry. It probably saves a little on performance, but could you figure out another way to do that doesn't ruin the image? Because again, I wanted to initially thread my Xbox directly to my PC, which would have the best responsiveness and all that. But thankfully, the responsiveness is great here because they're literally right next to each other, as I mentioned. And unfortunately, it was only in 720p, and it was a square around the side for the projector output, because normally that's on my laptop, and people can't see the projector output. But anyway, so best action adventure game went to Hollow Knight Silksong. Understandable, though I do think Split Fiction should have been more in contention.
Yeah, I'm not sure where I lean on those two, having not quite finished Silksong. I'm decently far in it, but just haven't gotten to the end.
The other nominees were Death Stranding. The other nominees were Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotei, and Indiana Jones. And
I also could have
those are
seen
plausible.
Indy on that one. I think actually I forgot Indy was part of that. I really loved that game. So
I had a lot of problems with some of the gameplay, but I really enjoyed the main game at least. I'm very stuck on Order of the Giants.
I still need to get around to Order of the Giants, but just the base game, I probably would actually take that over Silksong and Split Fiction out of the ones that I've played.
Best role-playing game is once again a clear, obscure sweep.
that
Yeah.
was just like.
So
Yeah.
let's see. So let's
If I was a
discuss
betting
who
man,
would
I
be
would've put,
the Silver
I would've put
Medalist
money
then,
on that one.
if there was such a thing. Because
What
I
were
have
the nominees?
Avowed, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2,
Okay.
Monster Hunter Wilds, and The Outer Worlds 2.
Okay, well, I've only really put decent time into Avowed out of those, so I guess that, but
Yeah, I guess
I
too.
know Monster Hunter was by people who play
I like
more
the
Monster
gameplay
Hunter
of
than
Outer
I do.
Worlds 2 better, but I need to play that more.
Yeah, I have not even touched it yet. But yeah, Monster Hunter I probably wouldn't put up there. Having, again, not
What?
Oh!
Oh, I got struck by lightning. Ah.
Okay, let me just
Can you
try to
throw
steer
water
the ship
on
away
me
from this island.
or something? Oh wait, no. I
Oh.
should. I dipped myself in water and that had been
Okay.
raining on me and
That works. Can you repair the wheel when you get a chance?
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
Just getting us out of the storm. We're almost out of it.
Oh yeah, I already did have that actually. Just like. Oh, I accidentally put it in the put them in the barrel. Duh.
Oh no, I don't think it needs repairing actually. It was just turning slowly because of the storm. I think we're
Okay,
good.
yeah, that makes more sense to me. But I'm gonna stay down and oh, there is actually a hole in the front of the
okay.
hull, so I'm gonna repair that, and then
Yep.
Mop bucket.
All right. Unfortunately, it seems like we're traveling with the storm.
Yeah, well,
It's also the most direct route to get to the Devil's Roar, so I'm just gonna keep going.
well, you're
And
in the
hopefully
right
it
direction
changes
at least,
direction.
and
Yeah.
I'm happy to be navigator for tonight.
You might have to take the wheel for a sec, just because I have to heal myself.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I can't.
Well,
I
need to
can't let go of
heal
the wheel,
first.
or the ship's going to veer into different directions because of the storm.
Yeah, yeah. Let me just grab a pineapple, eat that,
All right.
and then give you the other half.
Yeah. Let me know when you're ready.
What's germs between pirates who are on the same crew?
Got it.
Okay,
Oh,
so yeah,
looks like
on the
we're-
wheel,
Okay.
and I just hold her steady. It seems.
Yeah, we're mostly out of the storm, thankfully, so
Okay.
we're good. All right, I can take it back if you don't want to
Okay.
steer.
No, I'm fine with that.
Go for it. Yeah, just sail pretty much east-northeast.
Well, okay, so
Once you get the
best
compass back.
fighting game. Fatal Fury City of the Wolves from SNK. You seem to be really into SNK, so you can let me know.
So I have not played City of the Wolves. I did play one of the betas they ran, and I was like mildly excited, like, oh, it's cool they're making an actual new Fatal Fury game, because it had been a very, very long time. I thought it was okay, but I'm also not the biggest overall fighting game player, so what were the other nominees on that one?
Capcom Fighting Collection 2, Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, and which I think should have won just for the historical aspect alone.
Yeah, the presentation on that seems really cool. At least I feel like that has some merit, even if it is just a collection.
If it goes on a deep sale, I'll get it probably. Then Virtua Fighter 5 Revo. I think this is why I wanted to ask you about this category mainly.
That would be my pick.
Yeah, that's why I was
played a
thinking.
decent amount of that. Okay.
Because I was like, oh yeah, Kevin was excited for that game.
I've done some ranked online in that. It's solid. It's a solid version of a game that I've played a lot already. Just with some new bells and whistles. It's sort of just something to tide people over until whenever the next actual Virtua Fighter comes out.
I see. So it wasn't a... Okay, so it wasn't that substantial, probably.
No, I mean, and the thing is, it's a very bare bones version of Virtua Fighter 5, because original Virtua Fighter 5 had a lot more in terms of different modes and stuff. And then the re-release they did a few years later cut a lot of those modes out and just put it out as like an Xbox Live Arcade game. And then this is sort of that, except with better online. And more costumes and stuff, and touched up graphics. So
yeah, it's tough for me to visualize it, but I'll take your word for that.
But it's not like some radical reimagining of the game. It's the same core game that it's almost a 20-year-old game at this point. So
Virtua Fighter 5?
Yeah, it came out in like '06 in arcades, I believe.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. That I see. It was the first. Okay, so, um, back to all right.
You're gonna want to go east-northeast, by the way.
Okay, yeah. Sounds like a plan.
And I've got that map down there if you need to reference it. Maybe just pure northeast at this point because we're going south a bit.
Okay, yeah, totally. So, more about the other nominees for Best Family Game. Again, I think Lego Party should have won. Lego Voyagers, I haven't played yet, but I will get to it. And again, Split Fiction was robbed. And it was robbed again with, Best Multiplayer Game. Which, oh, yeah, the other game that was robbed for strategy, in my opinion, because I didn't really get into the altars, and I heard Civilization 7 was bad, so I just stepped away from it. I tried to understand Civilization, but I just can't. For whatever reason, it just eludes me. I tried Civilization 5 finally on Steam. I had actually bought that in a box at Walmart, just for the novelty of having a boxed PC game. Pretty sure it's around here somewhere, but I don't know. And, yeah, well, it didn't click with me. Jurassic World Evolution 3 was also robbed. I'm being very careful about how I approach that game because a lot of the systems and UI still elude me, but I'm getting more of an understanding of them now. And the fact that I can play it very well in the cloud helps. So the other sports racing games that were, you know, those are not really worth mentioning. They were just FC 26, F1 25, and Rematch.
Yeah.
Now back to the multiplayer, or starting the multiplayer game. Arc Raiders, I can absolutely understand why it won, but I still think Split Fiction was robbed. It just got completely clobbered. Like nothing? Seriously?
Yeah, I'm surprised, like, Split Fiction, because, like, it's coming off of It Takes Two, which was, 2021 Game of the Year from that show. I'm a little surprised, but it could just be a little bit of fatigue from people, I could see.
Or just
because it is
this year
still
was
the
too
same
stacked.
formula. Yeah, one or the other of those two, probably a combination of both. Of just it came out, it got a lot of buzz when it came out, and I thought it was a fantastic game, but even I kind of forgot about it when it came time to think about what should be Game of the Year, because it just
I
was
always
pretty
always
early
for
in the
that.
year.
Because
It's pretty early, and just a lot has happened since then.
Because I mean, I think that I was so invested in Split Fiction potentially winning because, well, two reasons. One, that was an amazing experience to do with you, my longest-standing co-op partner. And two, it was right before I went to Africa for the first time ever, so it sticks out in my memory a little bit more because of that. And three, I identify heavily with Mio, the loner, neurodivergent sci-fi author who's like, life is pain, and I'm processing that with action sequences. You know? Like, that's the kind of story I would have written if I was in Mio's shoes. So, I really got invested. And then Zoe was perfect for you. I don't know why, but she just was. It's like we always seem to pick the exact characters that we need. It was May for me when that cracked my trans egg, as she sang. And then when I played A Way Out, it was Leon, the taller guy. Or no, wait. I think that was actually my friend Billy. And the shorter guy turned out to be the one working for the cops. Who I ended up having to kill Billy, and I was better at the shooting anyway, so. Ha. So there. I won. Okay, innovation and accessibility we already did, but, South of Midnight, it was a strong contender, though I do understand why Doom won. FC26, no comment. Adam Fall, also no comment. Because I didn't really get into that. That was just such an
are we still
underbaked
heading
disaster.
to the out? Are we still going to the outpost, or where are we going?
Oh, whoop. Do I need to go a bit northeast? Because I thought...
yeah, check the map.
Well, you check the map. I'm on the wheel. I'm demoting you to
you're gonna want to
navigator.
go southeast.
Okay. But yeah.
But when I'm steering the ship, I'm both. It's doable.
It is doable, but like this structure makes more sense anyway. With one of us taking turns a lot of the time. Oh.
Okay. So next time I steer, I'll just go in one direction until you tell me where to go.
Wow. You're never gonna let me live that one down for a bit, are you? But anyway, so yeah, and then Assassin's Creed Shadows. I will say that Ubisoft really is very strong in the area of accessibility, and that overall accessibility has been improving. And I had an interview recently for an accessibility-related nonprofit. That's all I'll say about it. So I'm looking forward to analyzing and understanding these issues more in a city where obviously there's a lot of lobbying about these kinds of things. Especially, I don't know how far we'll get as the administration is gutting the Americans with Disabilities Act and in enforcement, but they are at least calling back Office of Civil Rights employees from Education Department to work on the backlog of complaints. So there's a possibility that maybe somebody might get a remedy by the end of this goddamn awful administration. Anyway. So yeah. Still southeast?
Yep. We're pointing right at it.
Okay.
Maybe
Yeah, I see it.
Further
to the left. To the east. Yeah, I see that now. Shooing. Okay, while we're doing that, best adaptation. The Last of Us 2.
Oh, this one I have some opinions about.
Okay, well, I haven't seen the show, so go off.
Well, not specifically about The Last of Us, because I have not watched the show. More so just the fact that Sonic 3 wasn't nominated.
Oh, okay. Well, let's go through let's list all the nominees first. Last of Us 2, a Minecraft movie. Why that was even nominated, I have no idea. Other than just, like, popular impact. Devil May Cry.
A lot of people saw it, yeah.
Splinter Cell Deathwatch, and Until Dawn. Which I heard was terrible, so I don't know why that was considered either.
The Devil May Cry anime I heard was pretty garbage, so
wait, really?
I did not watch that. Yeah.
Barf. I think I recorded that, so I'm just not gonna bother.
If we want to get into, like, you know, creator politics as well, like the dude who created it is kind of a dirtbag. So.
Why? What happened?
You know, he I don't know. He very much started pandering to the right-wing crowd. Like, and he had been before, but people kind of just ignored it. But he got super loud about it. So, you know, whatever you want to say about the show itself, which I did not hear good things, independent of whatever personal politics. But still,
yeah, I've deleted my recordings from Play on Cloud.
Yeah, I heard nothing really good about it. I think they even made a season 2, and it was also not good.
Oh, well,
But yeah, my pick out of those would just be Sonic, but it just wasn't an option for whatever reason. I don't think it missed any cutoff either, because it came out around the same time as Indiana Jones did last year.
We were talking about that as our last episode for Season 1 of SunnyRedemption Sailing. Yeah. Go check that out, people. If you want a more in-depth review from both of us of the movie, but, like, that really should have one. I'm also puzzled as to why Fallout wasn't in consideration.
It made a huge box office. It was pretty well reviewed. I think it just had good word of mouth. I thought it was great.
I really liked Fallout. It has some flaws, but it's probably one of the better game adaptations I've ever seen. And so I don't really know why it wasn't even considered. Yeah. But, like, I've recorded the Tomb Raider series, and we'll get to Tomb Raider in a second, but, most anticipated game, duh. Grand Theft Auto 6,
Yeah,
though.
that was a gimme. Until that game actually ships, it's always gonna win that category.
Yeah, duh. That's like people have been waiting for that for how long? A decade? More.
Yeah,
Since the release
I mean,
of Grand Theft Auto 5 for the
by the time it
Xbox
releases,
One.
it'll be a 13+ year gap.
Oh my God, that's wow. Okay. Um, just like I don't know what they could possibly do with the series at that point. But let's see. The potential for pre-orders is 007 First Light, which I'm super excited about. Even though I'm a little bit nervous about the villain, the guy at least, the singer who plays him is passionate about the character. So even if the voice acting is a little wooden, it'll at least be intriguing potentially. It depends on the world building of the African nation.
He has some experience acting, and he's, Zoe Kravitz's dad. So
yeah,
I don't know. There's some. It's not unheard of for a Bond film to get, someone like that in that role.
No, yeah, that makes sense. It just depends a lot upon the world building of this fictional African nation, because it essentially seems like it's a pirate republic, which could be interesting, but it could also be very voyeuristic and colonialist in undertones. Who knows? Pragmata, definitely, after what I played. Reanimal looks very cool, because that's basically the Little Nightmares 3 we should have gotten. Little Nightmares 3, unfortunately, is terrible, because the solo AI is just god-awful for your companion, and he follows you around all the time, so that instantly destroys the horror. There could have been a way that co-op could work while still building the tension. If you split people up a lot, that could lead to moments of panic. I think that tension was at least a little demonstrated by, say, Gears of War. Even though this wasn't a horror game, it had horrific overtones. And then, of course, Resident Evil Requiem. I'm debating whether to get it on the Switch too and play it anywhere, or Xbox for the performance. I'm pretty sure it'll also have a decent PC port, but I'm a little bit nervous about that. And then Lego Batman! I'm so excited for that! Holy shit! It looks like everything that I would have ever wanted from an Arkham game, except it's Lego. So it'll be way more accessible, and it'll be a kid-friendly way to show some of the best moments in Batman history could potentially be on display in a grand compilation. Like, will they have the Joker's death from Arkham City? I don't think so, but they could go there.
They could do a fun, goofy Lego version of it somehow.
Oh, of course, yeah.
They handled the Star Wars stuff just fine.
Well, I didn't really get much into that because the layout of how to do anything was fucking confusing. But, yeah, I'm just looting the barrels. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm just poking around stuff while we kill time.
Mm-hmm. Let me see. Yeah, okay, so the fish I can definitely sell raw.
Okay.
Let's see. That's just supplies. Empty. Sometimes it's nice to just float around and not think that much, though, because I really was getting my ass kicked over and over again by Ninja Gaiden 4, and that has to stay on my Xbox for the maximum performance and responsiveness. So I can't tackle it on PC.
That's not what I would not want to stream a game like that.
Or put it on a integrated graphics PC, because it's a really powerful integrated graphics PC, but it's still an M chip, not a full chip. Even sodium RAM is going to get super expensive, but it's hopefully going to get less so than regular RAM, which is being bought up by AI companies a bunch. So, that's not fun to think about. But you know what is? The best announcement of the night! I have a lot of thoughts on this, so I'll try not to talk your head off completely, but Tomb Raider! Oh my god! It looks so good! Both of these games.
What? Your audio ducked out. You might have been yelling too hard.
Possibly. I broke the gain meter. Tomb Raider.
Oh yeah, the Tomb Raider stuff looks great. I'm excited
Let me
for
tell you,
another reboot of the series.
Tomb Raider 2013 was one of my gender clues. On the Mac. It looked and ran terrible, but I still suffer through it with Laura. Rise of the Tomb Raider was gifted to me by a friend a long time ago, and that felt like one of the best holiday presents ever because it was a unique game for my box, and it was great. Shadow of the Tomb Raider I was a bit less enthused by, but the co-op stuff, I think we did that, and it was pretty decent.
A lot of, if not all, the co-op tombs. Those were fun.
And then like the ending was just bizarre and confusing.
Yeah.
Like I think Lara became a god for a second, but
yeah,
like
it got a little. I mean, but Tomb Raider games always got a little.
No,
wild.
yeah,
Like,
they were inspired.
Dinosaurs.
They were inspired by Indiana Jones in that way, so it's not like. It's just more like the writing for some of it was very much overly focused on her as some sort of pathological force of revenge. I really think that they cut out their own knees from under them by getting rid of so much of the ensemble cast so quickly between Tomb Raider 2013 and Rise of the Tomb Raider. Except for Alex, who it's like, he's the writer's pet, but they don't really do anything with him. That's interesting, other than having him be the transport guy. And then it's like, well, there's just nothing with Sam? Ever? Period? I know that was queer-coded, and they couldn't really do anything with that at the time. But, like, they were daring before with that, like, groping scene that people got upsetty about at first with that game. Which ended up being like, yeah, whatever, it's a little creepy, but that's just, you know, it's an antagonist doing it. Of course they're bad. Like, you know, this was at the start of, like, the cancellation stuff.
But I was gonna say on the topic of Rise of the Tomb Raider specifically, I literally since I got out of work early today, I stopped at the retro game store near work and bought the 360 version of Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Wow. Okay.
So I played about half an hour of that before I got on here. That's what.
How does it run?
Caused me to be a little late. Not too bad. Like mostly 30 FPS, and definitely like probably top 3 best looking 360 games.
Yeah, they really did
like,
squeeze out those last 3, or like 2 or 3 first party for Xbox 360 games around 2015.
Yeah, like Nix's did.
Oh
an
no, wait.
job on that.
The last one was Titan. Or no, wait. No, that was before that. Never mind. Titanfall was 2014. Duh. My brain always thinks 2015 for some reason. I think that's because of when I played that, and I'm also slightly tired still. But
but
okay,
yeah,
so
it runs really well, except all the online stuff's gone. So like you try to like look at.
Oh yeah.
You know, like it pretty much just tells you right up front on the home screen, like, hey, Square Enix online stuff is now disabled. Don't even try to use it.
Well,
but
the thing is that I guess the multiplayer community, the retro multiplayer community for this game that is working is the Xbox One version.
But just the
first game,
login stuff, like the like, you know, link your Square Enix ID, because like there's a prompt to do it.
Right, and also I was mixing up Rise of the Tomb Raider with Tomb Raider in terms of multiplayer, because I don't think I ever really tackled a multiplayer component with Rise.
A little bit. It was a little bit. Oh, I didn't play much. Did Rise have multiplayer?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
But so I think that just what you encountered was the Square Enix ID thing, and that was the only that got me confused.
They pop up. Well, what's funny about it is they pop up like, hey, you should log in with the Square Enix ID. You try to do it, and then it says, don't try to do that again. It's not going to work. Pretty much. Like instead of just like ripping it out through a patch somehow, it's just like
well, that would require effort
to get through
for a 360 game that was that it was, you know,
speaking of which,
sold a decade ago.
It definitely has probably the biggest patch that I've seen for that generation of games.
Ouch.
Because it took a solid 20 minutes to install.
What was the size?
It doesn't tell you the size, but it took way longer than I've ever taken for a 360 patch to go through. Usually those patches used to be like kilobytes, but this took a long, long time.
I
It
wonder
took
how the
20
game
minutes.
will
I literally
perform
walked
and stuff
away.
whenever that
Yeah,
patch
I mean,
server is disabled.
Yeah, I don't know. But I played the opening snow section a little bit past that into the first tomb. And then
I
I
will
just found the
say that
checkpoint.
I'm very happy about the efforts by preservationists to get the eShop, quote unquote, with funny money working again on a modded 3DS, so that
Yeah.
you can experience those games in a format that's familiar. So I imagine that the retro modding community will roll up their sleeves whenever that happens, but still.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
So the fact that the remake of Tomb Raider 1 is coming out first is interesting. They probably so let me see. Tomb Raider Catalyst is 2027, so I'm just gonna which like that makes the wait even more excruciating because I've been waiting
Yeah.
for so long. Catalyst picks up after Underworld, finally continuing the Tomb Raider story.
Mm.
And so, um, Wikipedia, please. There we go. Because I'm just looking up information like well, yeah, Crystal Dynamics, of course. I'm just looking up the, okay, it's an Unreal Engine 5 game. I thought they were trying to use some sort of Amazon whatevers, but no, it is Unreal Engine 5 for this. And, I could see how they would do a remake first to test the engine and stuff, and have that done first.
I think that's a pretty well-established mold. Like at least Gears and Halo both did that.
And
I
thought Dead Space would, but then they fucked
Dead
that.
Dead Space seemed like they were planning to do that.
I'm gonna rag on EA forever for that. Until they do a Dead Space 2 remake. But that's probably never gonna happen. The creators want it.
That's just where like, publishers want to just refamiliarize people with the IP. You have, a little less work to do making a remake because you at least have some foundation there.
Yeah, and even if you're building entirely from scratch, you have the design documents and stuff.
Obviously you still, if you're remaking a game from scratch, you're still doing a lot of legwork, but you're not, there's not as many creative decisions to be made, I guess, and not as much needs to be guided through. It's like, well, you have a lot of your answers in the original game.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you want to change those, sure, but that's more of a yes or no question than an open-ended question. So.
And it's interesting to see that process be, potentially in like a documentary or something, because I just found a video, I forget who it was from, about about attempting to restore at least some of the 2007 build of Arkham Asylum. Apparently I'll send you the video once I track it down, but apparently the costume is a lot more in line with the animated series, as is a lot of the designs of the characters. Instead of like this blend of animated series stylings over more realistic body proportions and such. I think the bat logo looks kind of terrible, but they probably would have tweaked that. Basically, people have been able to restore cube lighting levels that were like demos of. There was cut content, for instance, about a hedge maze with Mad Hatter, and of course, Mad Hatter was pushed to Arkham City instead. I think that was probably for the best, because apparently you were going to fight him and Poison Ivy at the same time, which I think would have been too much. Ultimately, I like the Poison Ivy fight that we got, even if it's a little annoying at times. As I'm playing. Well, I tried to play Arkham Origins again on Steam, but then Killer Croc turned invisible, and none of my prompts worked, so it just became unplayable at the worst time, because I was really getting into the responsiveness and the 60 FPS and all that. But yeah, so when's your next availability?
Let me think.
Because I'll be home until January 7th.
Yeah, depending. I mean, your schedule could be spottier than mine if, like, you.
Well, let's first talk about next week with the I mean, it could be, but I'll let you know.
Yeah.
I guess you just let me know.
'Cause my work schedule's a little lighter this week, thankfully. It was really, really busy this past week. My best guess would probably be Friday, but I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, well, just give me plenty of notice, and I
Yeah.
will let my parents know, since I like the holiday stuff, of course. But then after Christmas is when I usually come out to see you, so I guess just let me know when that works before
Yeah.
I have a bit more time this time.
Yeah. What day do you go back to DC?
January 7th.
Okay. Because I'm going to be in Florida from the 2nd to the 5th, and I'm working pretty much every day around that.
Huh.
So it would
Well,
probably
how much
be
was
the
the
only time I'd really
cost of the
have
trip?
would be trying to think. It would be a different answer for you because a lot of the cost of the trip
That's true.
for me, because I have an annual pass, was less. I'm trying to think. If I had to ballpark it, depending on flights from where you'd be flying out of, I don't know how much those would be, and it might be more because it's closer. Because I got mine pretty cheap.
I'm intrigued enough to look into it, at least.
If I had to guess the flight to be like 200, hotel would probably be... Oh, well, I already have a hotel room, actually. So
well,
that would be fine.
Basically, what I'm thinking is you could get an extra thing at the at your discounted rate, and I can reimburse you. Well,
you mean for a hotel?
Well, yeah, for a hotel.
I'm fine either way. It's a 2-bedroom.
It's a lot of it's a lot of logistics to potentially discuss a trip to Florida for that, and yeah, it is kind of a big an expense, but like, I've been so intrigued by Epic Universe and Islands of Adventure and seeing theme park stuff again, and that could be a really great way to start the new year.
The other big wrinkle in that is that the Epic Universe tickets have been very spotty. Like they put them out in batches.
Oh.
I don't know. Because the first time we tried to buy tickets for this trip that we're planning, they weren't available, so we gave up on it. Then I checked a day later, and they were available. Me and my coworker, who's going to meet me down there.
Cool. So I might be a bit of a third wheel then.
I mean, it's up to you.
It's more just like seeing the logistics side of it. I probably would want to film a lot of it. I hope I wouldn't be an obnoxious person in the or be seen as an obnoxious person in the park.
The thing is, the way this trip's going to work is it's going to be like half and half. Like the first day is going to be solo for me, but it's only a partial day, so I'm probably just going to go City Walk or whatever. The second day is our Epic Universe day, where my coworker's driving up from Tampa, and we're just going to spend the day there. Then she's just going to drive back, and then I'm spending another day solo, where I was just going to do, Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure. So that was my plan. And so, the only day it would be 3 of us would be Epic Universe.
The third.
Yeah.
I mean,
so it's totally up to you.
Yeah, I could meet up with you separately, and I mean, it's a lot to think about logistically and financially while I'm currently still looking for a job.
I don't think my coworker
so
would
it's
care.
unlikely.
I would ask her first before definitely saying you could go.
Okay,
but
yeah.
I don't think she'd care. She's very
so
chill.
that's the kind of logistics I'm talking about. If all we do is hang out, chill at your place and play video games for our final SunnyRedemption Sailing this year and the end of season 2, I am totally fine with that. So no pressure at all. I guess just put some feelers out.
If you did want to go, it's totally your call. I wouldn't say no at all.
Well, yeah, no, I didn't think so.
Or
it's
if
just
we don't make it work
like
this time, we could do another time, because I'm probably going to renew my pass. My renewal's at the end of January.
Well, the other option is, of course, another trip to DC, Because,
Yeah,
and
that's
this
true.
will be my final thing before I let you go, I went to the Spy Museum on Saturday, the new one,
Oh yeah.
with the
Oh, I didn't
location at
know there was
L'Enfant
a new
Plaza.
one.
Yeah, they
Oh.
moved in 2019, and the last time I had been was in like 2010 or so at the old location, of course. And well, I put up a whole video about it, so check that out if you're interested, people. And be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, etc. for future videos from History Flights Productions and SunnyRedemption Sailing, your bi-weekly voyage for PS3 gaming news. But anyway, so I my mind was blown by the Spy Museum a lot of the time because, well, they have such amazing artifacts, from inflatable tanks that were used in World War II to fool German aerial reconnaissance. Um, in one, also a great movie, by the way, Operation Mincemeat. Um, and then, um, oh yeah, the Aston Martin from James Bond, naturally, and the motorcycle from Mission Impossible 2.
Oh wow.
They
I don't
have a
think
lot
they
of
had that
cheeky.
when I went there.
They have a lot of cheeky references to James Bond and Mission Impossible, such as like referencing the fictional spy masters as if the fictional directors as if they had real tenures and that kind of thing. One of the probably more expensive artifacts that they have is a Mission Impossible level pack for Lego Dimensions. Like what? I didn't even know this existed, but like, and if I wanted to actually play Lego Dimensions, I'd probably just get it on PC and pirate the toys, because it's like, no, I'm not doing that. That's ridiculous. But like, the fact that they have that like the game was popular enough to even get a consideration of a Mission Impossible Lego level, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
In the best, and I mean that in the best way possible. Meanwhile, the undercover mission game is a bit underwhelming, and I don't like that they use AI for the disguise system, though I kind of understand it and don't really know how that would work otherwise. I vaguely remember like touching and dragging elements over my real photo to create the disguise in kind of one of those like pick art thingies from back earlier, in technological history. So that probably would be a little bit more tactile, but it could also be more limited than just, hey, Pix AI, here's a contract to go do that for us. And I guess it's fun. If this technology wasn't built on mass theft, I would have enjoyed it, of creativity. And being shoved everywhere, fucking Microsoft. But, that was only a minor lowlight compared to the actual exhibits. Laid out a little confusingly, I will say. But the other games that were around really broke them up in interesting ways. There was one game where you had to hang on to a retractable motorized pole for a period of time, and I fell off after 5 seconds. There was also a vent crawling minigame and a red team decision-making game where they explained like how people came to the decision to raid Osama bin Laden's compound, which apparently one of his advisors said that I don't remember who it was off the top of my head, said that he was more that the case for Saddam Hussein having WMDs was stronger, which was like, wow, they were really not very confident. And I knew that that Vice President Biden was like, nah, I'm not confident at all that this is Osama. But I was most like Obama. He was very 50-50 and took a night to sleep on it before executing my favorite operation in American history, because he killed the guy who murdered my pregnant cousin in the South Tower. So, but yeah, that was a fun time and a fun video to make. And a little bit more fun than than the Smithsonian museums, because I'm not constantly thinking about how President Trump wants to censor them. Though I imagine he would not be happy about anything related to the Navajo code talkers or women's struggles in the spy agencies because no, America has been perfect, you know.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
of course, he had to insert himself into the robreiner crap.
Yep.
By
I saw that.
this guy is literally demented. He's basically saying that like karma got him for being anti-Trump, which is like, wow, you really just want to see all your political opponents die, you old fascist asshole. And we're not gonna give you the satisfaction. Because if I have time before going, I'm gonna go to the Lincoln Memorial and at least read the Gettysburg Address, if not film myself giving a speech from there, because that's been a very powerful place for people to make stands for a reason. Our public monuments, no matter how much Trump wants to put an arch to himself or UFC on the lawn, are not for sale. Um, so that'll be fun. But yeah, I guess we'll play it a lot by ear when it comes to availability. And you know, overall good show, even if some of my faves were robbed by the just absolutely enormous tidal wave of Clair Obscur. I doubt we'll see a year like that next year, but you know, this was all a surprise, so I wouldn't be surprised if I was surprised next year by some game coming out of the blue and storming the awards again. In any case, you have a good one.
Yeah, I'll catch you later. See you.